You have to let me go.
Why would I do that?
I think he's actually watching these.
Maybe someone.
Okay, well, bye, someone.
Used to be.
I know who I used to be.
So the second trailer for Brand New Day just dropped recently, and can we talk about the state of Spider-Man media in general? We have Spider-Noir, Beyond the Spider-Verse, and Brand New Day all looking like peak top tier shows right now, and I'm just excited to talk about it. So let's talk about the one that surprised me the most, Spider-Noir, a Prime Video series starring Nicolas Cage playing Ben Reilly in the 1930s. Honestly, what's so genius about this marketing is that tagline, with no power comes no responsibility. It sets up the show so nicely and gives you everything that you would need to know about the character and what he's going through. Spider-Man is not about the power, the webs, the wall crawling. It's about somebody choosing to do the right thing even when it doesn't benefit them whatsoever. Ben Reilly here is a private investigator down on his luck, forced to grapple with his past life following a deeply personal tragedy. That's Spider-Man's whole shtick, just put into a detective noir. I mean, this show is so good. And don't get me started on the fact that you can watch it in black or white or in color. Like, personally, I choose black or white. That's just me. It just adds more to the story. Now let's go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum. Probably the most visually ambitious project ever made, the Spider-Verse series. The last time we seen Miles, he was stuck in an alternate reality, face to face with another version of himself that seems to be the villain rather than hero. Every great Spider-Man story is ultimately a mirror, him against the version of himself he could have become if he made one different choice. The Spider-Verse trilogy just literalized that metaphor by giving Miles an actual alternate version of himself to fight, one who took the exact opposite path with the same starting point. And the emotional stakes are still anchored in the most human part of the mythology. Miles needs to go home to save his father, not stop a god, not prevent an apocalypse, save his dad. Lord and Miller and everyone involved have built the most spectacular Spider-Man universe ever rendered on screen, and they still center it on a kid trying to get home to his family. That's not an accident. That's a creative team that knows exactly which parts of this mythology can never be sacrificed for a spectacle. So let's talk about Brand New Day. 4 years after Peter erased himself from everybody's memory, he's pretty much alone now. This might be the clearest example of the famous sacrifice in Spider-Man history. Peter got exactly what he wanted. Everybody forgot him, and the trailer shows us that he's quietly paying for that. Ned doesn't know who he is. MJ moved on. He's swinging through a city that has no idea he exists. And then you have Bruce Banner managing his own condition, almost like a chronic illness, quietly mentoring Peter through his own power problems. Instead of like suiting up for another team up, you see that, you know, these legacy characters are being used for their own personal story instead of a spectacle. But one of my favorite parts of this movie to come is that Peter just acts like an adult. He's treated as an adult. He speaks as an adult. People consider him to be an adult. It's no more of the Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark. We see Bruce and Peter's dynamic are really like, oh, I'm the young kid and you're the mentor that I look up to. It's more like, oh, you're going through the same thing I'm going through and I need some advice, I need some help. And I love that dynamic. I always hated the Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark. It worked for the first one. But after that, it got too much. It got too much. I can't do it no. Director Dustin Daniel Cretton clearly understands something a lot of franchises do not understand. The spectacle is supposed to serve the character's emotional arc, not replace it. So we have three very different projects: a detective noir show that has very little spectacle, an animated multiversal epic, and a blockbuster sequel. But every one of them follows the same rule. A Spider-Man story works when the personal cost is the story, not just something standing in the way of it. Even if a fraction of what's in these trailers hold up once we see the full movies, 2026 and 2027 might end up being remembered as one of the best stretches in Spider-Man media history. Not because of the scale, but because everyone making it actually gets the character. I cannot wait to see these movies and these shows. For me, I'm most excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. That trilogy is going to be my favorite of all time. But let me know which of these threes you're most excited for and which one's your favorite.